So yesterday we have seen that SOQL, right? And today we'll see how to deal with SOQL and how to run the SOQL in Apex classes, okay? And different conditions, where conditions, having, group by, those are something, and aggregate functions we'll see, okay? So yesterday we have already seen that how the SOQL query will be like select, then you can have the different other fields, then from keyword object name. That is the basic syntax for you. Then let's say so this is basic SOQL query. Now, how to keep the conditions in SOQL query? Let's say I have to get the universities with specific name or with specific ID or with specific different conditions based on that. How can we do that? Okay, so mostly there are you have to use where condition for conditions. Where class, okay? So where, then you have to use the condition. The conditions are equals, not equals to, okay, then in, not in. So these are only can be used, okay? So inside the SOQL query, if you want to filter, then you have to use equals, not equals to, in, not in, like and not like. I'm not sure I do not like consider. Okay, so these are the different ways we can use the conditions. Okay, we'll see one by one how to use the conditions. Okay, first one, equals. So here first you have to use where class should be given. Then what is the condition? Let's say I just need name equals to, as it is text, what you can see, my university one. Okay, so I need to get the record where name equals to my university one. Just run the SOQL query. Okay, so this is how you have to use equals. Just simply where, then condition equals. Then if you want to use not equals to, simply use not equals to. Now just run. So it returns lot of records other than my university. Okay, so this is equals and not equals. Okay, then in. Okay, so how to use in? Now let's see in condition. Okay, how to use like or this one. Okay, first thing, equals we have already seen, not equals seen. In means multiple values. If you want to get the records which are matching with specified values for any field, let's say I need to get the records where the name, like name in Trilok, Sai and Pratap, I don't want others. Then in that case you can go for in, means more than one condition. So equals means only one value. You can give condition for only one value. So not equals also you can give only one value. So if you want to give multiple values in where condition, then you can use where in. Okay, so that's how you have to use. Okay, so in means where in, then brackets should start, then val1, value 2, so and so on. You can give like this. Okay, now what are the values matching with these given values, those records will be fetched. Okay, so where field in, just let's see how to write that. Where name in, you have to give as it is string, you have to give university 1, let's say, comma, second value. Okay, so you can give any number of values up to 1000 values only, should not give more than 1000 values. Okay, now if you give like this, only the matching records will be. Okay, this is how you have to use in condition. Okay, and how to use not in. Okay, so here where not in, where not name in, so usually not equals to not equals to will give like this. So, but for in, what you have to, where not name in, name means it's a field, you can use any field here, not only name. Okay, just try to execute. It gives all the records other than these two, because we are giving not name in, means the name should not be in these two values, then give all the records. Okay, this is how you have to give in and not in. So let's see the other thing, like. Okay, so in, not in, like, not like, we'll see how the like will be there. Okay, where name like. Okay, so what is like means, like means the not exact characters. Okay, now here if I want to get values where not name starting with my. Okay, so then, so my, then after that you can have any value, use percentage, means my, after that it should have, so my should be the my should be the first two characters, then after that it will be having any values, it doesn't matter, it can have anything. So that's called like operator. So if you give like this percentage my, then so starting should be anything but ending should be my. Okay, so let's say if you have percentage my percentage, means starting should be anything, ending should be anything, but the entire keyword should have my keyword. That's called like operator. Okay, like and non like. Let's say my percent means, the example is my 1 2 3 by something like this, whatever it is, it returns. Okay, but if there is any value like 1 2 3 by, it will not return, because here it is saying it should start with by. Okay, it should start with by. So here this means it can have anything at starting, let's say 1 2, it should end with my always. Okay, then xyz my, whatever it is, but my should be the end. Okay, this is how like operator works. Now, so it means it can have anything but it should have my keyword at any place. That's called like operator. Okay, now let's see how it works. So like my percentage, I'm giving like this. So all are there. For your purpose, let's see. I have percentage ending with 7. Percentage 7 means, so starting should be anything, but it should end with 7. Okay, now let's run the SOQL query for this. 7, 17, 27, 37, 47. Only ending with 7. Okay, now here let's say you give like this, say this, because it's like equals condition. Okay, we'll see if you give, see we'll see, let's say if you give 2, sorry, 2 percentage, okay, means starting should be 2, there are no records, so it won't return anything. If you give percentage starting, means this should contain 2 at any place. Okay, 2 at any place, just execute. Everything is there. Okay, so this is how like operator will work. Now let's say not like, name like, returns the records which are not matching with this specific criteria. This is about like operator. Okay, like and not like, these are very much important. So these are the things. Now you have to say like order by, means if you want to display the records in specific order based on name or based on university number, or so whatever it is, if you want to display based on something, then what you can do is order by something name, order by, let's say university number. By default it will be ascending order. Okay, so use this, it will be ascending order, 77, 79, 80, 81, something. Want to display in descending order, just use DESC, descending order. So it comes from end to start. Okay, this is called descending order and ascending order. So using order by. So where, then you can have this. Let me show the syntax for SOQL. Select field list. Inside this you can have subqueries. Subqueries means whenever you want to get the child record from the parent, you can use subqueries. Then type of, it's not required, object, then scope, conditions. Okay, write down one by one. Select field list, then let me write this first. Have anything, where conditions, should be in the same. After conditions, you should have group by, having group by, having condition, then order by, order, limit and offset, limit, number, it may be view update. This is the basic syntax and this is the order you have to follow, because say let's say if you want to have where conditions and group and everything order by, it should be in the same order. Select field list subqueries from object where conditions and then group by, then having order by field and then limit. Okay, so order by field, then limit number, offset number for. This is how you have to write. But all are not required at a time. This may have, so based on the requirement, you may have to use these things. Okay, so just now we have seen that where condition and then just order by. We have not used group by and having. Group by and having both should be in the same SOQL query. Okay, so then limit is, so let me explain how the limit will work. So how many records we have? 36 records are there, right? So what you can do is limit of 5 means it will display first 5 records only. That's called limit. Okay. Then you have also the syntax limit. Then you can have offset. What is offset means? Offset means, let's say I need to display 5 records, but the records should start from 5th record. Okay, then you can go for offset. Offset means the starting number 5. So first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 46 it should not display. Okay, so just execute. 45 is displaying. From 5th record it has to display. And then limit means what are the number of records you have to display. Offset means in the result from which row you have to display the records. It's called limit and offset. Okay. Okay. So that is number and offset for the limit and offset. Okay. Then let's use how to use the aggregate functions. Okay, so what is aggregate functions? We have already seen sum, min, max, count. Okay, we have average also. Let's say I want to get the count of records. How many records? Count of from give number of records. Okay, these are aggregate functions. So here count of id, if you want to give different name, that's called number of. So you can use two ways, count or count of any field. It will give count. Okay, so then if you want to get maximum of v or something, then you can use maximum, max of field, min of field, average of any field. Okay, so that's how you have to use aggregate functions. So here use aggregate functions. Average we have. Okay, then count distinct values means if you want to get different names, how many different names you have, how many different departments you have, if you want to get like this, then you can use this SOQL query like this. So what are the different departments you have? One department, because we have given arts only, right? So if you use different others also, you can use. But one more thing is, you can't combine. Field must be grouped or aggregated department underscore C, because as you are using the aggregate function for this department, you can't use that into the select. If you are using aggregate, then you can't use that into the select fields. Okay, so that's one thing. That is for count distinct means. So count distinct means what are the different values you have, how many different values are there in the records. Okay, so another thing, so minimum you can use, maximum, sum. We have already used this, right? Sum, min, max. So you just note down these. What are the aggregate functions? Average, okay, average of amount, then count of distincts, minimum, maximum, sum. You have to practice this in a SOQL query. Then again, if you see here, this is a SOQL query, how to use the calendar month, calendar year, something like this. Then we see it in the Apex, you don't worry about that. Then let's see how to use group by and count. Okay, so I just need to get all the universities. Okay, so I just need to get to all the universities where there is at least one student. Okay, let's say the simple thing is, so here what we are trying to do is, we are getting all the accounts where at least the account should have at least one contact. Okay, so this is the syntax for the query. And let's see if you go for any of that resulted record. Oh, sorry. Have at least one record of contact. Means we are getting the account IDs, but it should have at least one contact under that. So there is one contact here. And if you want to get more than, so wherever there is at least greater than two contacts for the account, then you can use greater than two. Just use it. Only this account is having more than two contacts. So the same query will be asked in interview questions. There will be no change. They'll ask the question like, I need to get all account IDs where the account should have at least more than two contacts, or more than 100 contacts, more than 5 contacts. Okay, so then you have to use the same way, and they may change something like account and opportunity. Okay, then account, contact, then something accounts and cases, contacts and cases. So the thing is same, the requirement will be the same, there will be no change. Okay, so carefully note down this. Practice in different objects, how to write for custom objects. This is very much required. Okay, now that is about SOQL query. We have already done the fields from object, and then where condition, group by, having, order we are having, limit we have seen, offset is also seen. So for update we will see in the apex. Okay, so now let's see how to use the SOQL query inside the apex. Okay, so in apex, if you want to get the records, what you need to do is very simple thing. So SOQL query returns list of records from the single object. Actually, we have already discussed that. Okay, so then it returns list of records. We'll see how to do that. Okay, so first thing, so it returns list of records. We have already told that CSR. Okay, for example, you are getting university double underscore, then let's say u list equals to, then you have to give SOQL query. So how to give that SOQL query? So directly what you can give is, you can give select id name from university underscore c. So this is the SOQL query, we have already seen that. Then here you can use where conditions however you need. But the SOQL query should be used in this format. It should be in the square brackets. Okay, in Apex it should be in the square brackets. So if you give like this, it means it will give the list of records, and these list of records will be stored in the result. Okay, so here you know that how to create the list. First you need to give the object, then you have to use new list, right? So if you want, you can do is, you can use like this, new list of. So once you declare that, then you can use this value. Means after declaring a variable, you can assign the values to that. Okay? Or directly what you can use, ulist equals to SOQL query. You can write this. Okay? So then we have already know that how to iterate the list. We have already seen there are two ways to iterate the list, and then let's use the second way for university. This is enhanced for loop u. Now directly if you want to use this, you can display or access one by one. Let's say name u dot name. So let's say if you use system dot debug of department, so in this case, in SOQL query, we have used ID and name fields to fetch from the SOQL query. But here we are using department. Then what it does is, it will throw the error. So S object was, row was retrieved via SOQL without querying the requested field called. So whatever the fields you have used inside the SOQL query, those only you have to use in the for loop or wherever you want. Okay, so this just use now. University, so 3 fields, it's received, and then name. This is how you have to use the SOQL queries to get into this. Now let's see how to use where condition. Okay, now where name equals to Generally here you will give my university. Now you have to write the SOQL query generally. But in Apex, you have to use after equals to, just use this one. Colon has to be used. Okay? So then it reads that yes, this is the SOQL query we have to use. Okay? Just use this. If you don't give that colon, sometimes it throw the exception. See this. Now, when it will throw the exception, let's say if I give like this, try to execute, it is executed, right? Now, when it will throw the exception, so in both cases it is working fine. Then let's say you are giving the hard coded value, so instead of that you have to give dynamic value like string name equals to my university. This is the string you have to pass. It may be different. My university 2, my university 3, something it will be coming from dynamical. Okay, then what you can use is where, so this is called dynamic apex, or let's say how to use the variables inside the apex. That's okay, guys. If used like this, this is apex variable. Okay, and it's not a string, it is a string, but here you are using equals. Now it see this, it will throw the error. Okay, so whenever you are using the apex variables to filter the some values or anything inside the SOQL query, then you should give this one. Remaining are same, like, not like. Okay, so in, not in, whatever it is, but whenever you are giving the SOQL query as the apex variable you are mixing, then you should give this one. Okay, just use not equals to, then you can use not equals to, sorry. Okay, so without that it will be giving. Okay, so this is how you have to use this one. Now let's see how to use in condition. Okay, in means multiple values, more than one value. If you want to store more than one value, then you should use collection. It may be list or it may be set. So to avoid the duplicates, set, let's use set string names name, comma, okay. So here as you have multiple values, then you should give in condition. Before not equals, just remove this, use in, then collection variable. Just use this. This will return right. So how to use multiple conditions? Let's see. Okay, these are all the records where name equals to something, and means I need to have another condition where department w_c equals to arts. So means you have to give and something like this. See this? Okay, you can use in the same way where name like of that is 5 means it should, let's say it should end with 5 and department should be arts. See the difference first. Use this. Okay, it gives 5. If you give R, then means you have already seen or means any condition is true. Okay, then it will return all the records because odds are there, 50 records are there. This is how you have to use and or conditions. Okay, so this is the combination of or and. Okay, note on this. So this is how to use the SOQL queries. Now let's use how to update the records. Okay, so yesterday we have already seen how to update the records, delete the records, insert the records using the list, right? Now I need to check u dot name equals to u dot name plus I'm giving test something. I'm just changing the name. Okay, as well as if you want to give department, you can give it. There is no issues. Now just use update or database update. Now if you go to that universities, see, or update. Okay, so this is how you can update the records. And one more thing, let's say if you use like this. Okay, now here if you want to delete, just use delete. Okay, then here this is not required. Okay, simply nothing is required, only id is more than enough, where name in names records will be deleted. Okay, now if you see the recycle bin, in lightning also they have introduced the recycle bin. Previously recycle bin was there in the classic version also. It is recently see this, these many records are there. Okay, so just run SOQL query. It works in only Apex. See this, how many records we have in universities.